All right, good afternoon. Happy Friday. It's such a happy Friday when we are able to bring together yet another amazing Illinois employer in showing a public show of support for the Guard and Reserve. My name is Scott Klein. I am the Employer Outreach Director for the Illinois ESGR, which is the employer support for the Guard and Reserve. And today we have just a fantastic company, Catharsis Productions, which you'll hear in a couple of minutes, has a long relationship with those that serve and really is an educator and a leader in helping those that serve. But it's really fantastic to bring a company that's willing to be not just in name a veteran-friendly business, but just in every way possible. So I want to be the first to say, as an Army Reserve officer myself, I've gone through your trainings now twice, both going through basic training at Fort Benning and Bullock at Fort Leonard Wood. I've witnessed the amazing educators at Catharsis Productions in action, and over time I've gotten to know Gail Stern, Dr. Gail Stern, in business, and have appreciated what an amazing group of people you have. So I know we have a whole lineup of your staff on our call today, and we will be sharing the recording of this statement of support signing through our YouTube channel, through Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, with the hopes that hopefully other businesses will follow your lead, follow your example. Ordinarily, we'd be doing this in person. Ordinarily, we'd be celebrating this statement of support signing and congratulating you and shaking hands. But because of coronavirus, we have transitioned. We have actually been the first state in the country to transition to carrying the message forward and conducting this virtually. And again, thank you for doing this. I'm going to turn it over to my friend and fellow ESGR volunteer, Robert Lewis, who not only is an ESGR volunteer, but also the program manager for the Illinois Hire Heroes Consortium, a program that I will be connecting your team with following our statement of support signing, because I know, again, how committed Catharsis Productions is to supporting those that serve. So, Robert, if I could ask you to say a few words.
Thank you, Scott, and thank you, Catharsis Productions. It is always an honor to sit in with great folks who understand the precious people, women and men that serve our country, especially Guard and Reserve, those who served as well before, veterans. Myself, I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I know that you guys have 25 years plus of service, and that is outstanding to know your tenure in the work that you do. And I just, speaking to engagement, your humor and credibility touch points, I think those speak very well to what we're doing here in publicly showing our support for the Guard and Reserve in many capacities, and we're proud to have you. It's an honor, and I'm looking forward to get to know each and every one of you, and also have you inside the Illinois Hire Heroes Consortium that Scott just spoke about. It's free, by the way. So congratulations, and thank you for all that you do.
And now I'll turn it over to Laurie Silvey, who is, as mentioned, the Illinois State Chair of the ESGR. And like I said, ordinarily we'd be doing this in person. And I should say that when I approached Gail with this idea of having Catharsis sign on, I don't think there was a millisecond delay in hearing the yes, let's do it. And I appreciate that. So Laurie, if I can ask you to share with both the Catharsis team as well as anybody that might be watching following the ceremony, a little bit of the history of the ESGR Statement of Support program, and tell us what they're committing to.
All right, thank you, Scott. And thank you, Catharsis Productions, for joining us today and doing this. I love the enthusiasm. So the Statement of Support program is one of ESGR's major efforts to build strong support for the Garden Reserve. The purpose of the statement is to encourage more employers to support their reserve component employees by publicly acknowledging that the company signing recognizes the importance of the Garden Reserve. So ESGR has been around since 1972, and in that time, there have been hundreds of thousands of employers who have made the commitment to be one of those supporting companies. So we're very happy to welcome Catharsis Productions as one of those signers, and hope that you'll proudly display your own SOS as one of those employers. I'm going to go ahead and read the pledge that you are signing. It says, "We fully recognize, honor, and comply with the Uniformed Services Employment and Reemployment Rights Act. We will provide our managers and supervisors with the tools that they need to effectively manage those employees who serve in the Garden Reserve. We appreciate the values, leadership, and unique skills service members bring to the workforce, and will encourage opportunities to employ guardsmen, reservists, transitioning service members, and veterans. We will continually recognize and support our country's service members and their families in peace, in crisis, and in war." So Gail, if you will go ahead and sign and date the statement and then hold it up so that we can see it.
Congratulations.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
Gail, if I can turn it over to you, and if you can introduce your team and tell us why you were so willing to sign, and why you're so proud of your support of those that serve in the Garden Reserve, and of course our active duty brothers and sisters.
Well, first, it was easy to say yes because we've already hired veterans. Years ago, we wanted to make sure that we had integrity in the work that we were doing. And so initially we sought out the voices of those who had served, and then we began employing them as subject matter experts and as presenters. And so we hope to be able to do that again. It's just something that we value. We started off 20 years ago working primarily with colleges and universities, and why we take that work very seriously. I would say that our work with the armed forces, and we do a lot of work with the National Guard as well, has been some of the most meaningful and fulfilling work that we've ever done. I'll speak for myself. I've never served formally, and it felt like a way to give back and give a small portion of who we are to those who serve and make that great sacrifice and also represent the very best of us. And so it's really a privilege to be able to officially sign a document that reflects the values that we've always had. We have a wonderful representation of our tremendous Catharsis team. We have Anthony DiNicola, we have Derante Parker, we have Heather Imrie, we had Jetaya McGhee, and we also have our incredibly tremendous, awesome staff member, Barbara Perlman, who is going to be here sharing also about the work that we do in support of the armed forces. And so actually, I would be remiss if I didn't lead off with the fact that I'm here with my partner in anti-crime, Christian Murphy. He and I co-founded Catharsis Productions over 20 years ago. And not only was it Christian's idea to start the company, it was his idea to really reach out to military and design programs that were explicitly tailored to each branch of the armed forces. He believed that we had something to give. And I'd like to pass the baton to him to say a few words, because truly he had the vision to be where we are now. And then I would love to pass the baton over to our other staff members on the call today. Christian, this one's for you.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes,
we can.
Now we can.
Thank you. It is not only an honor to have served in our own way with the armed forces, and in particular with the Guard and Reserve, but it has been a true privilege to work with so many. I would argue hundreds of leaders in all of the armed forces that we've engaged with that not only take sexual violence prevention seriously, but have really served in many ways as our strongest allies. When we first started doing this work 20 years ago, as Gail suggested, we were working primarily in higher education. And once we started doing work within the military, a few years after after we had begun doing a lot of work within the military, there were some reports that did not reflect well on the military from a civilian's perspective. But we've always been so proud of our work, primarily in essence trying to espouse the belief that I think all of us do share, that the military has oftentimes served as the vanguard for change in our country, change in our world, change in our culture. And the men and women that we have served or worked with in many cases have not only been strongly on board with our messages, but have actually gone far beyond many of the civilians we've worked with in really trying to enact change. So we are so grateful for the experiences we've had in serving in our own way for the military, and even more grateful for the incredible veterans that have already served in our company over the course of the last several years in several different capacities. And we very much look forward to welcoming others to our companies in the years to come.
I'd like to pass this off to, again, any of our other company members. Again, we have Barbara Wells, Heather Imrie, Jetaya McGhee, Derante Parker, and Anthony DiNicola, who in very different ways, but with no less of a commitment, have demonstrated how valuable this work is. So I throw it out to our team. If you'd like to share with DoD what this means to you.
Well, Scott, you had asked if I had been to Benning, and it's many other people on the call will have this same feeling that I've had, where I have had the distinct privilege and pleasure of getting to travel around the world and present on posts on 3 different continents for me specifically. And it's funny, I've been sitting here thinking, specifically thinking about the experiences and the discussions I've been able to facilitate with guardsmen and guardswomen, and they have been some of the most powerful and uplifting conversations for me because of that ability to commit to your nation, both with your body and your ability, but also to carry that into your specific workplaces Monday through, knowing that I am living this dual life, both as citizen and service member, and the ability for those folks that I was able to facilitate these discussions with to compartmentalize, but also to realize that that level of service you take with you into every part of your life. I wouldn't have been able to do the work that I do without those who have served both in my own family, but also that I've worked alongside. I've learned so much about what it means to actually put your life on the line for your country and for those you'll never meet, and that you'll never get to have that personal relationship with, but it is so deeply personal. And so the work that we at Catharsis are able to do is so deeply important because it reaches into the lives of so many. And I'm so grateful, and I'm so grateful, Gail and Christian, that you made this commitment. And I look forward to what this means in the future.
Thanks, Anthony.
Hi, it's Heather. Everything Anthony said, I don't have to, the same has been true for me all over this country and this world, talking to folks from all 4 branches about their commitment to the respect and belonging and looking out for each other through our programs like Got Your Back, Sex Signals Beats a Blame Game, having those conversations and really seeing, of course, that, sexual violence is not a partisan issue. We're all behind this, right? We all are looking out for each other. And that has been really a great honor for me especially because everybody in my family up to a certain age has served. My father is a veteran. I've been to the VA center with my father several times, both Hines and then the location downtown and near UIC in Chicago. My cousin serves at Abraham Lincoln National Cemetery and helps folks with last rites. He also was in the Army. I have a uncle that not only served in the Army, but was a prisoner of war. So for me, this work is personal because I have seen what service meant to my family members. And also this work is personal for me because I see how strongly committed the military has been to eradicating sexual violence in its ranks, and it has been a privilege and an honor to get to have those conversations with folks. So I will stop rambling. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Heather.
This is Barbara. So I am fairly new to Catharsis, so as are some of you on this call, I am fairly newly learning about Catharsis's work with the military, and really proud to hear just how in depth it is. I work primarily with colleges, but certainly while what I do is exclusively with colleges, sexual violence is certainly not exclusive with colleges. It's a societal issue, and so to know that you work for a company where people ask what you do every day, and you can really be proud to tell them about the people you work with and about the work that they do. I'm just really thrilled and privileged to be part of this organization, and really proud of them.
Thanks, Barbara. I think so many of us have been deeply moved and affected by the work that we do. My dad was an enlisted airman, and I'll never forget the time that I got to travel and deliver programming at Yokota, which was his first overseas Air Force base. And it made him giddy to think that after he had been shipped over there when he was 18, 19 years old, that I was there, a robust woman in her mid-30s, but actually like delivering content that senior folks were listening to. And it really moved him to see me as a part of his service. I think I can speak for everyone on our team where we have been humbled by the fact that military leaders across all of the branches take our issues so seriously, that they are actively present when we are there. They'll often be introducing us. We will meet so many amazing resources on an installation because they know that we're there. We also know that they can articulate the issue in ways that many civilians cannot, and that they see it as integral to who they are and what they do. And it's not just about checking a box, it is about fulfilling a mission. And it is humbling to be part of someone's mission. And so, as I said earlier, this was really easy to say yes to sign because it's part of who we are already. I feel like we've signed it internally every day that we have worked with the armed forces. And so we just want to say thank you for letting us make this official and putting it on paper, because it's something that matters so deeply to all of us.
Well, thank you so much, Gail, and thank you to everybody at Catharsis for your commitment to those that serve. We thank you, we congratulate you, and hope that this will inspire others to sign a similar pledge. And we know that you'll display this proudly. So congratulations again on behalf of everybody at ESGR, and certainly on behalf of my sisters and brothers in uniform. Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you very much.